I'm John McPeak, and you're watching Community Focus, presented by the Friends of MCTV. In this third segment, our guests are Amy McDonald, a professional counselor for Fresh Aire Samaritan Counseling Center, and the Reverend Dr. Rhonda Myers, a board member. Welcome to Community Focus.
Thank you.
Rhonda, what is the Fresh Aire Samaritan Counseling Center?
Well, let me begin with its name. The name is a rather unique one. Fresh speaks to the mission of the counseling center to help its clients begin anew and begin a process of transformation in their lives, that restoration of energy to their lives. And the word air really speaks to the power of the divine that begins to empower that renewal in an individual when they begin to experience transformation, and that song evolves from the inside of the heart and soul as the experience of wholeness is revealed and cherished and experienced. We understand Fresh Aire to be a ministry to the greater community. We also understand our role to be one of partnership, advocacy, and education. We are an accredited, not-for-profit outpatient counseling provider, and so we offer both psychological and spiritual counseling. Fresh Aire is affiliated with the Samaritan Institute of Denver, and it's one of 470 accredited centers throughout the U.S. and Japan. Fresh Aire has 3 different centers, one here in the city of Midland, but also one in Bay City, one in Saginaw. We strive to make the centers safe environments for our clients, places where clients can come and be heard and understood and accepted for who they are as individuals. Fresh Aire really strives to be a place of sanctuary where our clients can examine whatever issues they're feeling, experiencing, then move through that process of healing, staging that through distress and pain and confusion to a new place of hope coming out of that experience of growth, healing, and transformation. Fresh Aire, of course, is accountable to a local board of directors, largely made up of pastors and other leaders from partnership churches, and it meets the standards of organization, management, and clinical practices.
Well, how are the Fresh Aire services provided?
They are largely provided by professional, licensed, trained staff members who come from various fields. They come from the fields of psychology, marriage and family therapy, counseling, and even social work. And our fee schedule is based upon a sliding scale which takes into consideration a client's income and their ability to pay.
Well, Amy, how does a potential client discover if your services will be helpful to them? Does such a person need to be referred, or can they contact Fresh Aire directly?
There's a couple different ways a person could call themselves once they've heard about us, maybe through their church congregation or another friend they can call. They can also be referred by their pastor or somebody within the community. Then what we'll do is an intake with that person. That one's typically over the phone. They'll call, they'll talk about kind of what presenting issues may be bothering them or what they'd like to work on in therapy. And then they'll be assigned an individual therapist. From there we'll begin our sessions. And they always have an option to start and do a few sessions to make sure that it's going to be the right fit for them. And we talk very openly about what we can offer and kind of our mind, body, and spirit program that we do in that first session with them. We do, at the Fresh Aire, do individual counseling, group counseling, adolescent, children, and work with families as well. We do couple counseling, and we have focused on, we do a lot of workshops and education things for the community within churches. We've done some sessions on grief and loss, divorce recovery, and LGBT support.
Now, in a presentation, is that typically one staff member or sometimes more than one staff member in presentation, depending on what the subject is?
Depending on what the subject is. I've done some individual, and I've done some with my executive director, Lisa. Just kind of what will work with you. If you're a congregation and you need something unique, we'll talk about that. Or if you need a one-time presentation, I've done those with groups on like Stephen's Ministry. They needed a one-topic session, and so we've done that for them.
Well, what are some of the topics and issues with which you counselors deal, and where do these counseling sessions take place?
Generally, they take place in one of the 3 centers in either Midland, Bay City, and Saginaw. our focus is really on the process of healing and moving into growth. And our executive director, Lisa McElvena, likes to use the image of a person seeking balance in life. In fact, I remember one time she did a retreat with the women of my church, and she had us all balance balls on paper plates as a way of giving over into that image of seeking balance, and how just a couple of balls misplaced can throw the whole thing off kilter. And so what we will look at is whatever topics are presented by clients. So we might have someone come in that has an emotional distress of some sort, panic attacks, anxiety disorders, anger management issues, simple adjustment disorders. It might be someone with psychotherapeutic needs who has had some kind of a crisis in their life and needs somebody to help them in transition. Spiritual direction and life coaching, we do some of that. Issues related to personality and emotional development, as well as relationship counseling, premarital counseling, marriage counseling, divorce counseling, as Amy mentioned. Also healing from abuse, whether it be emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, and also some vocational counseling and vocational assessment. We also offer, as Amy mentioned, some educational programs, seminars related to mental and spiritual health. And I do want to mention that the Samaritan Institute's Fresh Air Center is involved with community outreach and development, and that this part of our mission has really led to us highlighting a great many local efforts that work at making our homes, workplaces, schools, communities much more vibrant and healthy. And we do hold an annual fundraiser that spotlights individuals and groups who work at accomplishing the goal of healing and growth in the community. So we're always at work trying to assist other agencies in accomplishing that goal and in locating folk that we can accomplish that goal with, that we can work together with, that match well with our mission.
Well, could you tell us about that, your upcoming Fresh Air Samaritan Recognition and Award Dinner?
We'd be happy to do that. We have, as I say, an annual fundraiser. This year it's being held at the Bay Valley Resort and Banquet Center over in Bay City. It's being held on Monday, November 9th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. It will include dinner, a cash bar, some lovely jazz music all night long provided by a previous award winner, a silent auction. We will have a speaker who will come and talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, both its effects on the individual and on the family and community, how to understand it and work through it. We will also then recognize 6 different initiatives that we have, that have been nominated to us by different members of the community, people who have striven to make the workplace and the communities stronger, healthier, more resilient places, and better attuned to the needs of our neighbors. So we will recognize one group that provides childcare for special needs children, a husband and wife team who provides instruments and music lessons to low-income children who might not otherwise have that opportunity to make beautiful music. We will highlight a homeless ministry, a ministry of recovery and work training for recovering addicts, as well as an LGBT advocacy group and a young man right here from Midland itself, Cameron Lipholt, who responded to the needs of relief that was created by Superstorm Sandy a few years back on the East Coast. He organized a golf scramble and raised $2,000 for relief efforts. So these are stories of real people making a real difference in our community, and we just simply seek to bring that to life and to celebrate their efforts. So 50% of all of the proceeds go to support our Samaritan Fund, which provides counseling to those folk who cannot afford it, or programs for those who cannot afford it. It's $50 a ticket, and I think that's about it, other than to mention that we do have a website, freshairsamaritan.org. The tickets can be purchased from there, and you can always click over to our Facebook page and see what's happening day to day.
Well, Amy, Rhonda, thank you for appearing on Community Focus to inform us about the Fresh Air Samaritan Counseling Center and your upcoming event.